Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome to a special video on XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Today I'm going to be talking about the Tactical Legacy Pack, which is a DLC pack that is going to be released on October 9th. And October 9th is actually the 6th anniversary of XCOM Enemy Unknown. So the Tactical Legacy Pack is basically a celebration of the history of the XCOM franchise, and it's going to be combining elements of Enemy Unknown and elements of XCOM 2, and it's going to be combining them. And we get a bunch of new gameplay modes. There is going to be a skirmish generator, but more excitingly, there is a kind of like, it's called archive, kind of archive mode. There's two different ones actually, but one is a little bit more story driven. And it basically tells the story of what happened between XCOM Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2. So basically what happened after the player lost the war in the first game. And how did we get to the point where XCOM 2 starts, which is the part where XCOM rises again as a guerrilla faction and is about to start its war against Advent and the alien overlords that have conquered all of the planet. But they did a trailer to talk a little bit about what the Tactical Legacy Pack is exactly. So we're going to have a look at that now, and then we're going to go through a list of items that I thought were interesting that they talked about during a recent live stream.
Hello XCOM community, I am Jake Solomon, creative director of the XCOM series, and I am very excited to talk to you about our newly announced content drop, the Tactical Legacy Pack. We wanted to do something special for all the amazing fans who have supported the XCOM series so faithfully. So what is the Tactical Legacy Pack? The team and we looked back at the entire series, from the original game XCOM UFO Defense to XCOM Enemy Within, to find inspiration in creating new game modes, stories, maps, and equipment to remaster for XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. So this is our thank you to all of the fans as well as the creators of UFO Defense for starting something truly amazing. Now here's what you're going to be getting when the Tactical Legacy Pack launches on October 9th for PC. For starters, there are 3 new gameplay options you'll find in the Legacy Hub. There's a skirmish mode, an offline challenge mode, and the heart of our new content called the Legacy Ops.
I'm going.
As part of the Legacy Ops experience, you'll join Central Officer Bradford and the leaders of the Resistance as they rebuild XCOM in 4 new and original stories taking place between the events of Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2. Take on a series of back-to-back rapid-fire missions. There is no strategy layer or base management, just tons of tense tactical combat. For these missions, we created a ton of new maps, many of which are actually remastered fan-favorite locations from Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within. We also thought your soldiers should look the part, so we brought back the weapons and armor from those games as well. And of course, all the new maps, tech, and weapons will make their way into the War of the Chosen campaign, along with additional soldier and photo booth customizations. You also have the choice to play XCOM 2 using either the XCOM 2 soundtrack, the Enemy Unknown soundtrack, or an amazing new score inspired by the game that started it all. The music alone gives the game an entirely new feel. So that's just a high-level preview of what's included in the Tactical Legacy Pack coming to PC on October 9th. And the most exciting thing about all of this content is that owners of XCOM 2 War of the Chosen on PC will get the Tactical Legacy Pack for free for a limited time. Over the coming days, we'll be going into more detail about Legacy Ops, Skirmish Mode, and a whole lot more, so subscribe to the XCOM YouTube channel for upcoming videos. And be sure to follow XCOM on Twitter and like the XCOM page on Facebook for more information when it drops. We'll see you soon, Commander.
There is quite a bit to unpack here, and I'm not going to be covering all of it as the trailer did a good job of giving a basic overview. However, during the live stream I noticed a few other more specific interesting tidbits of information, which I'll be going through now. So let's begin, starting with the new maps. 1. In the Legacy Ops there are 28 new handcrafted maps. However, they are not all 100% new content. Missions from the Blast from the Past are heavily inspired by or remade maps from Enemy Unknown. Meanwhile, They Came from the Deep is more inspired by the Newfoundland missions, which I think were the more creepy, horror-inspired missions, like the chrysalid-infested docks in Enemy Within. Meanwhile, Avenger Assemble and the Lazarus Project use more XCOM 2 content, and kind of form the bridge between Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2. 2. The 28 maps are divided across the 4 storylines, each of which will get a total of 7 missions. Next to the 4 storylines, however, is the Resistance Archive. These will allow you to create your own mini-campaign. If these only use the 28 new maps or include randomly generated maps like in the main campaign is unknown to me at the moment. 3. The mini-campaigns do not have a strategy layer. They are straight up missions, where a victory means you get to make a binary choice between items or upgrades. There is no waiting around, no mission selection, or even a loadout screen unless you set up your own skirmish. You get a certain kind of troops with a certain loadout. The loadout may however change if you take an upgrade for items in it between the missions. For example, a grenade may become a firebomb grenade. Troops that die will get replaced automatically as well, and will always be the class of the trooper that died. If you lose your sharpshooter in mission 1, it doesn't mean you can't have a sharpshooter for mission 2 anymore. 4. There are no new or reimagined enemies. Even though maps might be remakes from Enemy Unknown, they will be populated with XCOM 2's existing enemies. So no Finman for us this day, but we will see some nasty Vipers again. It's not just maps that got recreated, however. The developers have remade the weapons and armors from Enemy Unknown as well, but with a bit of a modern spin on them. After all, XCOM has lost the war, is going into hiding, and is starting to fight a guerrilla war instead of a conventional one. That means little to no resources are coming in, as there is no real infrastructure just like in XCOM 2. For the soldiers that means improvising maintenance fixes to their armor to keep them from falling apart, strapping things to guns that don't belong there to amp up the firepower, or to just keep the bloody things working. In essence, we see an XCOM in disarray, which is not exactly like the original, but extremely cool nonetheless. It helps to really bridge the gap between the two games. 5. All of these new armors and weapons, or old weapons and armors depending on how you look at it, as well as the maps from the storylines will be available for use in the regular campaign after you unlock them by playing the new Central Archives mode. They are not additional tiers to the existing ones, however, rather they are alternatives. For example, that means that you get to choose between a magnetic rifle or a laser rifle for tier 2. I do not yet know, however, if these weapons come with statistical differences as well, or if it is merely a cosmetic choice. The maps, like the gas station or the diner, can be used by the random mission generator in the regular campaign as well, where they will most likely be a single plot among several others, which is very exciting. 6. Lastly, next to both archive modes and the skirmish generator, there is the option to go back and play any of the daily challenges that got introduced by War of the Chosen. These were one-off missions, meaning that if you failed them, or even won them, you could never play them again. You got one chance, and one chance only. However, they did not accept mods, for obvious reasons, which means I personally never played much of them despite loving the idea of them, because it basically meant turning off the game, switching off all the mods, putting the game up again, and just going back and forth like that. However, with this mode, the exclusion of mods should no longer be a problem, as I believe they will be single player only and you can play them as much as you want. 7. The pack also comes with a load of cosmetic options like helmets and armor pieces for your soldiers to wear, as well as new attitudes they can take, which is really cool. I love the idea of a soldier's demeanor changing the way he is animated, like a twitchy soldier who always looks like he is on the verge of panic. Finally, there are a load of new options for the photo booth as well, leading to more variety, which is also very welcome indeed. So that's it for my look at the recent announcement of the Tactical Legacy pack. I will be live streaming the new DLC as soon as I am able to, so I hope to see you on the 9th of October so we can check out all the new additions together. I'll see you all then.